Video response for SoPal. SoPal wanted to know if our apologies were sincere or not. I'd say rule of thumb on that is if it doesn't sound sincere, you should assume it's not sincere, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of a figure of speech, man. You know, like when somebody says, well, I'm sorry, but I think you're an asshole. You know, I'm not saying that to you, but I'm just saying, like, if somebody said that, they're obviously not sorry that they think that, right? It's a figure of speech. So if it sounds like a figure of speech, you should take it as a figure of speech. Usually figures of speech are pretty ironic, right? You say, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, you know? I have friends that send me texts like that all the time. They go, sorry, not sorry. So, yes, I would not take that as a sincere apology. Just so you know, you are correct that it is not a sincere apology. But something I do want to apologize to you for is I think sometimes I'm a little mean when I shouldn't be. I don't apologize for my opinions, and I don't apologize for what I believe, but I think what I probably should apologize for is my approach sometimes. So, and that is a sincere apology. I think that's something that I need to work on for sure. Is my approach, my my tone, you know, and to make excuses for myself, which I know I shouldn't do, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's just kind of the way I was raised. You know, I was raised in a pool of sarcasm. My mother is extremely sarcastic. My brothers obviously were very sarcastic. Even my dad is really sarcastic. Even though I don't really know that my dad that well, but what I know of him, he's pretty sarcastic. The funny thing about my dad is that my dad's really sarcastic, but then you try to be sarcastic with him, and he doesn't get it. It's like, Dad, you dish it out, but you can't take it. But anyway, I think an apology is probably due for my tone. For that, I am sincerely sorry. I'm not going to apologize for my beliefs. I'm not going to apologize for my the points that I try to make. Nor should you. I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying, like, don't ever apologize for your. If you think you're making a valid point, then don't apologize. And you're right. Like, if you were raised or whatever, like, to you were raised to say that you're not, to not say you're sorry if you're not really sorry. And so, like, okay, you're gonna call me out on that, so I will concede your point there. But, you know, it is a figure of speech, you know, it is, but it's probably a figure of speech that we can do without, right? Be like, I'm sorry, dude, but, you know, you're a blah, 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 whatever. It's probably a figure of speech we can do without. So thanks for calling me out on that. You're right. I am sincerely sorry for saying I'm sorry when I wasn't sorry. I just used sorry 3 times in a sentence. But, you know, again, what I will not apologize for. First of all, I won't apologize for the fact that there's a hedge trimmer unplugged sitting on my my fire pit table. The reason why I unplug it is because I don't want my kids to come out here and cut their fingers off. So I unplug it. But I'm lazy enough to not put it away. Well, I still have work to do, so I'm leaving it out here because I'm going to get some work done over the weekend with it. But anyway, I'm not sorry for that. Not sorry? Sorry. Not sorry? Sorry. Not sorry? Sorry. I think, you know, it's funny, like, I make some videos and you don't You don't reply to them at all. You reply to the videos that you disagree with me on, but you typically don't. Like you put a comment on one of my videos the other day that said, hey, the reason why I didn't comment on that video is because I thought you hit the nail right on the head. I was like, okay, well, you could have commented and said that I hit the nail right on the head. You could have done that. But it's like you have certain friends on Facebook that they only chime in when they disagree with you, and then when they don't disagree with you, you don't hear from them. I call them trolls. They're friends / trolls because they're friends with you on Facebook, but their only purpose there is to troll you. It's their only purpose. That tends to be a liberal / Democrat thing to do. I'm just saying. Like I have some members of my family that they never say a goddamn thing. I post a picture of my kid. Hey, my kid just won the championship on his baseball team. Crickets from them. Hey, it's my son's birthday. You know, I love this boy so much. He just turned 10 years old, and you know, I don't know what my life would be like without him. And I post 27 pictures of him. Nothing from them. No like, no congratulations, no nothing. But the second I put something on there that they disagree with, then they write me a diatribe. Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. Yeah, you don't know how you're doing. You know, it's like you're just waiting. You're waiting behind a bush, waiting to pounce on me. Is that really a friend? No. It's a Facebook acquaintance, is what it is. It's a Facebook enemy, really, is what it is. It's a Facebook enemy. They're friends with you because they're waiting to see what you're going to say next. And then they're going to pounce on you like a puma. Just waiting to take the moral high ground. Waiting for you to slip up so they can let you know what's wrong with you. I'm not saying that you always do that, although I do get the sense that you do that sometimes. It's a very liberal thing to do. I don't know why people do that, but anyway, who knows? I probably do it too. I'm probably a hypocrite when it comes to that. I probably do that kind of stuff too, but I don't know. I definitely notice when people do it to me. That's for sure. Isn't that how we always are? We're always waiting for somebody to offend us, but we never think about what we do to offend others, or we make excuses when we offend others. But on the whole question of offense, I don't think offensiveness is really. I gotta get this piece of crap that just fell off my lemon tree. I don't think offense is really something that we should steer away from. I think purposely offending people is definitely a bad idea. Like if I know where your goat is and I like to kick it, you know, if I know, okay, if I say this to Sopal, I know it's going to piss him off, so I'm going to say it. Like my older brothers used to do that to me all the time. Like this is going to piss him off so bad, so I'm going to do it. And then I get pissed, and this is when I was a little kid, and then I get pissed off, and then they'd be like, man, you got problems, man. You're too sensitive. And I'm thinking like, well, you know I'm sensitive about that, but that's why you said it. So is it just me who has the problems? No, it's you have a problem too, because your problem is that you get joy out of hurting people's feelings. That's a problem, right? Isn't that a problem? Yeah, sure it is. Sure it is. So I'm gonna try to stay away from doing that. You know, I'm gonna try to stay away from purposely offending somebody just for the sake of offending them, and then turn around and say, well, you're too thin-skinned. But sorry, look at this mess in here. I've been got this sand that I use every once in a while. It's great to have it, but it's a huge mess sometimes. Look at all that sand. I just gotta sweep it out of here. But anyway, offending somebody for no other reason other than just to offend them, that's obviously not good. But sometimes sometimes it is good to be offended and to offend, because then you're challenging somebody's beliefs, you're challenging where they are, you're making them uncomfortable. And when somebody gets offended, it's very telling the way that they handle themselves when they get offended. I always tell my kids, you want to really get to know somebody, you want to really get to know somebody, you want to get to know your girlfriend really well, you want to get to know your best friend really well, you want to get to know anybody really well, watch how they behave when they don't get their way. Just sit back and observe. Watch what happens when they don't get their way. If you really want to know somebody, wait for them to have a huge disappointment in their life and see the way they handle it. Then we'll see what's what. Warren Buffett is very famous for saying, you never know who's naked until the tide goes out. It's true of everyone. It's true of you. It's true of me. It's true of everybody. I'm not saying that doesn't apply to me. It applies to me. It applies to humankind. You never know who's swimming naked until the tide goes out, right? So what does that mean? Well, if everybody, like the tide's in, everything's good, everybody's, putting on a good face and acting like they're all happy, and then a huge recession hits, right? Now all of a sudden everybody's losing their jobs. A lot of people are losing their jobs. Now people are just like, people who once professed to be right-wing and I don't need public assistance and welfare is for losers and blah, blah, blah. Now all of a sudden those people are applying for public assistance. They're applying for welfare. That's funny. I thought you said that only losers got public assistance. Now here you are applying for it. Why don't you pull yourself up by your own bootstraps and get a job like you always tell everybody else to do? Well, the tide went out. So the truth is that we're all swimming naked. That's the real truth. We're all swimming naked. If you want the mystery to be unveiled, it's just some of us are way, 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 way far out there, and the tide doesn't usually go out far enough to uncover everybody. But we're all swimming naked, dude. We're all swimming naked. Every single one of us is a piece of garbage. Every single person. And that's why Jesus said, don't judge. That's why God said, don't judge. That's why. But there's two kinds of judgment. There's a judgment between right and wrong, good and evil, and there's a judgment of, I'm better than you. I'm holier than you. The first one is okay. The second one is not. To judge in the sense of you need to be more like me. That's your problem. You're not like me enough. You need to be more like me. See, look at me. Look at what I do. See what I do? Just do that. That is the wrong kind of judgment. But the right kind of judgment is to look at somebody and be like, dude, you should not be stealing. You should not be stealing. You should not be doing this. You should not be doing that. It's wrong. I'm not going to be around someone. I'm not going to invite somebody in my house who is a thief, who is a rapist, who is a murderer, who is a this, who is a that. I'm going to tolerate them to a certain point, but there's a certain point where I'm not going to tolerate them. I'm going to draw a line in the sand and say, you cannot come this far because you're going to poison me and my family. And everybody has that line, whether you want to believe it or not. You mentioned something like you had a safe space for people, for kids. Fine, that's great. Do you have a safe space for serial rapists? Do you have a safe space for child molesters? You want to invite a child molester into your house? Have him spend the night unsupervised next to your kids? It's a serious question. It's not a rhetorical question. I'd like an answer to that question. You got all these people who, in this country, who think we need to have open borders. And we need to just let them on and let everybody in. Refugees, everybody, fine. That is a great notion. But the second those refugees and those Mexicans and everybody move into their neighborhood, now it's a different story. Now it's a different story, isn't it? You want the government to take refugees in, you want the government to do that. Do you take refugees into your house? Do you let them sleep in your guest bedroom? Probably not. So we're all hypocrites. We're all hypocrites. So the people that pretend like they're not hypocrites, those are the people that bother me the most. People that pretend like they try to take a moral high ground. Say, you know, liberals do it, conservatives do it, a lot of people do it. You should try not to do it. I try not to do it. Anyway, sorry for my tone, brother. See you later.